So here we are. We've got kind of the floor plan on the left-hand side. We've got that point cloud that the customer had generated over here on the right. So it's not real high fidelity, but it doesn't need to be. It just gives us kind of the general layout. But we're going to attach on this new part of the building. Here we see this new bottling line that they're going to be putting on. Over on the left in the green, we have the racks, the storage racks. In here, inside this enclosure, we have the actual bottling line itself. We can see that where the people would be operators and the operating stations, as well as some of the offices. And what we want to do here is add in this fence. Just because physical distance, we want to separate out for some of the regulations, separate out the bottling line operation area from the stock areas. So here we're going to take a fence. We're going to insert it into the plan. And it is going to be a parameterizable, I can't say that today, fence. So we're going to give it a length. And we're going to say OK, and that's going to insert in. We're actually going to insert in 2 more of them. So we're going to reuse it 3 times. And those are, of course, intelligent objects. They have some snap to capability and things like that. So we're going to say snap to this line, which we've added in, and say line it up the corner on the end there. Now we can move these things around. And what we're going to do is snap these other fence pieces in there. Go ahead. There we go. So we're going to take that connecting port, connect it right up to that fence, and it snaps in there. So now they're linked together. We'll do the third one, and we'll be able to show that we can move that around. So if we wanted to move it at a different position, we can do that. So we snap those 3 together. If we move one of them, all of them will move together. So they are considered one block. We actually, we can put them anywhere we want, but we're actually going to snap them back to the endpoint there. So now we have our safety equipment in there. We're going to take a top-down view look at this, and what we want to do now is insert the robotic arm. So we're going to choose the 5400. We're going to start with that one. Our engineer goes in, takes a look at it, wants to explore. He opens up the robotic arm. This time it comes from ABB. And he's going to insert that robotic arm onto the pad that is destined, in order to do the work. So he's going to insert it there, drop it in. Now he needs to turn it around a little bit because it's pointing the wrong direction, so he rotates it, positions it, gets it in the right place, and we can take a good look at it. So let's get rid of the other robotic arm there. So we're looking at it in context, so that's the robotic arm, but that doesn't look like the right robotic arm. That can't really handle pallets. So let's go ahead and take a look for another one. The IRB 6600, let's take a look at it before we insert it in. So we've done a search. We can see the 3D, and yep, that looks like the right one. So let's open that one up in the system in 3D Experience. And let's replace the existing robotic arm with that one. So I hit a replace action. I go in, I select the new robotic arm, tell it to replace it, and it replaces it with the same orientation. So it's using the same general parameters. Now we can just move it around a little bit to get it in exactly the right position. And we're all set. So now we have a robotic arm that's going to be able to transport those packs onto the pallet. So now we're going to simulate the actual running of this bottling line. So we see a person loading bottles. It's got a certain, he's able to do that at a certain speed. And we see the robotic arm taking those packs of bottles, putting them on the pallet. And then we see how fast that pallet is loading and how long it's going to take in order for it to be filled up and for the forklift to come around. Now what we're seeing is if we put 2 people over here on this side, they can actually load a lot faster, but our machine is not running it fast enough. So we're noticing that we're getting some backup on this. So we can modify some of the parameters. We can see through some of the graphs where the behavior is not going in. So we want to set the wait time to be a little bit lower so it doesn't have a backup, and we're able to load in our bottles one after another. So we modify the parameters of the system in real time and see that our kind of delays are going down. Now, the next thing we want to look at is this transportation. So down here at the bottom of the screen, that big black area is the loading docks. So the forklift picks up those bottles and then transports them to the loading dock. And we've set this kind of path for the forklift to go on every time. But what we notice is it's not real efficient. So we can generate a report and we can see the different things. So we see the conveyors, we see the AGVs, and here we're looking at the cycle time. When we go up and look at the AGV, the forklift is actually taking a lot of time, and it's a lot of time in unused, it's not got a load on it. So what we did was we moved the loading dock over to another side of the building so that the forklift has a smaller space to go. I think in the middle there, they're expecting to have some items in the middle there, so that's probably not going to just directly right around. But if we do this model as opposed to having the loading docks on the other side of the building, the forklift is able to pick up and spend more time actually transporting goods than just running around empty. And we see that actually in the metrics. We're able to simulate that and see it directly in the metric reports that we run.